So let's talk about AI design tools and how you're going to use it effectively in your marketing. And probably the first thing we do need to talk about is that the business that you're going to be primarily using these tools in is for information marketing or expertise marketing. And that's the business that you're going to need to be in on some level right now, regardless of what it is that you sell. And you may say that, I don't really want to do an online course. I don't really want to write a book. But part of what you're going to be doing with your customer and your customer base is sharing information with them. And so you need to be able to give them something, exchange something with them so that they'll be able to opt in and be able to become part of your world so you can sell to them. And so that's really what information marketing is. It's really sharing valuable information with a customer base, whether it is before the sale, whether it is the sale itself or during the sale or even after the sale. You're basically sharing with them how they can have more joy with what it is they're buying from you, even if what they're buying from you is information. Now, the beauty of information or expertise marketing, when you're basically selling what you know, is you don't have inventory. So you don't pay anything to go out and buy inventory. That inventory is already in your head. I mean, yes, you do have to put it into a form where people can buy it, but that's really why it's so cost beneficial that regardless of what you sell, that you set up some form of information marketing. Now, that might be all that you do, and that's fine. But even if that's not all you're doing, setting up an information marketing business is smart business because, again, it gets people into your world and it helps them to digest what it is that you're about even before they make a purchase from you. Now, information marketing doesn't really have time costs, once you've created the product. So in other words, if I create an online course, I only have to do that once. So I don't have any more time costs that I have to assume. All I've got to do is make it available for sale. Again, that's one of the benefits of being an information marketer. And that's why you should be an information marketer, again, regardless of what it is you're selling, regardless of how you're marketing your business. And you can set up a number of systems in motion. So in other words, you don't have to be there to sell an information product. And you probably know that. Now if you have a website, obviously people can buy things from you and you don't have to be there to sell anything. But an information product, by the time someone buys it, they can really experience the benefits of that product. And you have never seen that person for, days, weeks, or years sometimes, and they've already gotten the benefit. And that's really one of the beauties of information marketing. Now, I would suggest, of course, that you have contact. The more contact you have with your customer, even if you're selling information, the better off you're going to be. But just as a show of how much time you have to put in, how much energy you have to put in, once you've done the work, you only have to do that work one time. And as long as you're growing and learning, and you're teaching people how to do things on a regular basis, and you are monetizing that knowledge, all you really have to do is grow. So if you continue to grow, then you'll continue to have things to sell. You will always be able to help your customers grow because you're growing. And so that's really what an entrepreneur does anyway. And so if you're already an entrepreneur, you're doing that naturally. You're learning new things because you've got to learn new things to adapt to a new environment. Right now, what are we in the environment of? We're in the environment of AI. So if you're learning AI and you already have customers, well, then you've got to be able to teach those customers how they're going to be able to benefit from AI. You might say, well, I'm not really in marketing automation or anything like that. That has nothing to do with it. Your customer probably wants to know how this AI is going to affect them. And whatever you're involved in, whatever you're selling, you can show them how it's going to benefit them or how they need to prepare themselves for this new era that we're in. Now, here's what I want to say to you right now. The entire internet was really based on the fact that we make free content available, and then the internet sends us traffic. Whether we do SEO, whether we do social media, basically, when we do podcasting, we do blogging, however we do it, we make that content available free. And so the great promise of the internet is that the people who are looking for information, they can find me if I make that information freely available. If they experience that information, then maybe they'll want to come to our website. Maybe they want to come to an event that we're doing based on the free content that we have shown them. Now, this is kind of an important point that you need to understand about the era that we're in. If you're going to place all your content for free right now, what you have to understand is that the ink is not yet dry on how AI is going to treat your content. So you don't know at this point, and we don't know, the people who are creating the AI don't know how they're going to solve this problem that you have placed all your content, made it available for free, and basically the AI is coming and scraping that information and is using it in order to give a plain language answer to a person that's seeking one. And that's content that you labored in your expertise to learn. You communicated uniquely and you put it in a place where somebody could find it and they associate that information with you. Well, as of right now, someone can come and get that same information that you placed dutifully on the internet. They no longer have to make that association with you. And so we're going to have to be a little more savvy in terms of how we make our own unique information available on the internet. And there was recently an article in the Wall Street Journal. And, I don't know if you can see this or not, but basically, you're going to see this. Publishers are now getting ready to go to war about this, right? They want to know what's going to happen with my content. What's going to happen with all that information that I've made, put on YouTube